Hey, what's going on guys? Tim here again. Got another tutorial for you today and doing something a little different. It's with regards to this awesome product here, the Aroundsquare Begleri. So I've been doing a lot of Begleri content recently and done a couple of reviews so far. We did a review of the Hydras last time. I had them strung up on some 550, but now I've got them on some 425 paracord just to try it out, see what it's like. So anyways, this tutorial, we're looking at how to string up your Aroundsquare Begleri with 550 paracord. So the paracord that it comes with is 275, I believe, and it's a lot thinner, so the bore in these Begleri is not really wide enough for 550. Well, it's not really wide enough so that you could easily put 550 through. So today we're going to go through on how to get some 550 paracord through your Begleri. And this is like a technique that can also work on just regular beads as well. Say you're stringing up some paracord on some beads and you need to get some 550 through an opening that's a lot smaller. You can use the same technique for that. So why would you put 550 paracord through your Begleri? It's really just a matter of personal preference. I like the feel of the thicker feel of the 550. It feels a little, I guess, smoother against my skin and the fingers, like when the paracord is wrapping around your fingers and whatnot, and we're playing with the Begleri. So you might like it, you might not, but try it out, you know, and see what you like to do. So that being said, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so I've got my Titans here. I took out the that red licorice paracord I have. I'm gonna switch it up for this red diamond paracord. Just try out. So I've got my piece of paracord, and this will, of course, your length will depend on how much distance you want in between your two beads. That's entirely up to you. So on one end, we're just gonna tie a simple overhand knot like this. Okay. Try to get this all the way to the end and make it as small as you can. Pull it tight. Okay, so that's going to be on one end of your set. Okay, so there we go. That's all you need to do. On this end here, I've got a kind of freshly cut end. So I previously did a tutorial on how to turn the end of a piece of paracord into like a makeshift fid. We're gonna kind of do the same thing with that. So I'm gonna use a knife. You don't have to use a knife. You can use scissors. Using the awesome Sleece buoy here from Spyderco. But anyways, this is what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna explain it first. We're going to cut the paracord, the end on an angle, and kind of just maybe turn it into a very fine point. All right. So what I'm going to do first is actually pull out the inner guts just a little bit, like that, and then I'm going to remove this, just cut it off, because that is going to help us make our kind of point with our lighter. So now we've got that there. This end piece is now just a bit of the sheath, and now we're going to cut it and then melt it. So we're going to take our knife, and you're just going to very carefully just slice it on a bit of an angle like this. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Now, it may not slice perfectly. See how that end frayed a bit? That's okay. That's not a big deal. So now you can see that's what the paracord looks like. Now we're going to take our lighter and start torching it and very carefully form it into a point. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lighter, torch it a bit, melt it, and then I'm going to lick my fingers and then just kind of roll it into a bit of a point. Now, don't do this if your skin isn't kind of thick and nasty like mine on my fingers. I have a lot of calluses, so it's not going to hurt me, but use a safety glove or something, or dip your fingers in water before you do it, because you could burn yourself if you're not careful. So please be very careful. All right, so here we go. Gonna torch it a bit, then form it a bit. Okay, so there we go. So I just went back and forth between torching it and then wetting my fingers and then just kind of rolling it. So now it's at a nice point, and now we can kind of just put it through our Titans here. So if you look at this area here where it's starting to fray, make sure that's nice and melted too, because if it's still a little frayed and you start yanking the paracord through, it will start to unravel. So now we are ready to string up our Titans. So as you can see, this is going to fit on like this end. So for the first bead, feed it through the bottom of the bead here. Okay, so just put your pointed piece through. Now you can pull it through easily, right? So depending on the type of paracord or the manufacturer of the paracord you use, not all 550 paracord is kind of created equal in that some of them might be thicker than others. So this one's actually relatively thin for 550, but it strings through nice and easily. You may have some paracord that's a bit thicker, some 550 is thicker, and you may have to pull a bit harder. So use like some pliers or hemostats if you need to. Okay, so now we did that end here, got the knot sitting nice and flush inside. Now on this side, now we're gonna go through the top, right? So go through there. Now if you can't grab it, use your hemostats, because that end is all the way in there. You probably can't, you can barely see it, but see, I'm going to grab it with my hemostats. And pull through. There we go. All right, so now set your length for your in between your beads. I usually go with about 16 centimeters. That's just my personal preference. And tie your knot. So I'm just going to arbitrarily tie it here. I'm not going to thing. So we're just going to tie the same kind of simple overhand knot like that. Adjust this to your proper length, which I will do momentarily, and then just snip and melt, and then you'll be done, right? Okay, and there we have it. We are done. So if you look closely here, those ends have been melted. They're nicely tucked away in the Titans, and these are ready for some slinging. All right. So that is it. Very simple tutorial on how to string up your Aroundsquare Begleri with 550 paracord. Matt Over, he's the owner and operator of and creator and inventor of the Aroundsquare brand. He has some sets like these new mini standards that are board for 550, so they're made to be played with 550. But again, if you like to use 550 on your other Aroundsquare paracord, or any other Begleri for that matter that have smaller kind of holes in them, you can use this technique to put 550 through your Begleri. Okay, so I hope that was useful, guys. Let me know what you think. Definitely check out Aroundsquare. Provide all the links down below. Awesome hobby, super fun skill toy, and you guys seem to like it too, judging by the view counts. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next one.